Welcome to Sip with Summers, the podcast where we talk about sex, intimacy, and pleasure. Because someone has to, and let's be honest, it may as well be me. I'm your host, Jennifer Marie Summers, board certified sexologist, certified sex coach, menopause coach, and your favorite inappropriate friend with a microphone. Around here, we cover everything from why is my libido ghosting me to is it normal to fantasize about pizza during sex? Spoiler alert, yes. So grab a drink and let's get into the good stuff because pleasure is your birthright and awkward is my love language. Let's spill, sip, and say the things most people whisper. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to Sip with Summers, where sex ed meets stand up and we uncork conversation around sex, intimacy, pleasure, relationships, and all the messy human stuff in between. Today's guest is Cidney G. Green, the author of All Three and Me, a real life inspired book exploring love, sex, polyamory, and emotional truths in modern relationships. She's also the creator of Erotic Sleepovers, an immersive open sexuality experience focused on consent, connection, and freedom. We're talking polyamory, fantasy, emotional needs, taboo conversations, and what people are really craving underneath it all. Welcome to the show, Cidney.
Hey, girl. Do you know my mom's name is Jennifer?
Is it really?
Yes. And I have a
Such a
phone
great-
secretary's named Jennifer, too. Yes.
Too funny. It's a great name for that. It's a very sexy name.
Yes. Yes.
So, Cidney, I want to jump right into it. When people hear I had 3 boyfriends at once and they all knew about each other, what was their reaction?
Oh, people think that we all had sex at one time, which I love the assumption because I think that'd have been a marvelous experience, honey. So, yes, that's what people think. They automatically think that. And then people also assume that somebody's gay, that the men are gay, and that's not true. Even though I love bisexual men, I would definitely date bisexual men. I mean, I've had men who I've been into who said that they, have sucked dick or whatever, and that's fine. But as far as my book, All Three and Me, nobody was sucking dick but me.
Good to know. I appreciate the distinction, but I'm with you. I think bi guys are sexy, but I'm just, how did this relationship dynamic actually work?
Ooh, it was layered, right? It was definitely layered. Okay. August, he's the married barber. He's the one sucking my titty on the book. And he was around first, but me and him were platonic friends, which I thought was funny. Anyway, we were just friends, or whatever. We started having sex. And then I want to say somewhere up in there, that's when Cash, the one at the top, he came in the picture. I ended up meeting him on Facebook. And that's so cool because the book actually has real screenshots of the conversation. Like I went to my Facebook where I met him and I've just screenshotted the conversation where I met my boyfriend and I put it in there. Let me just show you exactly how we met. So that was like around 2012. And then the dancer at the bottom, Antonio, the stripper, he came in like at around 2014. So it was a layered, staggered kind of thing. But at one point, I definitely had a relationship with all 3 of them at one time. But it was staggered a bit.
Now, did each relationship fulfill something different for you emotionally and sexually?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Like I talk about that in depth in the book. I was I was emotionally and sexually submissive to all of them, but in 3 completely different ways. Like Cash, the one at the top who's all protective. And actually, that's why I love the book cover because it really says it if you just look at this work of art by Tim Baxter. If you look at the work of art, it literally tells you a lot about the dynamic. So the one at the back who's holding me, he was my protector. He was the one that was I always talk about marriage and us being together forever. Like that was him. Like I could come to him with like how I was feeling. I could be very raw and vulnerable with him about anything I was feeling. He could do the same thing. August, the married one, he was just lust in a bottle. He was more like my best friend. Like I could call him, he'd be like my homie that we had electric sex and he would like give me money and come and take care of stuff, come in the house with a toolbox fixing shit. Like I was like, I've never had a man come in with a toolbox fix and shit. I'm like, oh, okay. I like that.
Dream.
Yes, when he would give me money for groceries and pay my rent, like that was him, and he was like he was just a sexual god for me. It was nothing he wouldn't do. Whereas Cash, he was from the islands. A lot of them act like they don't want to eat no pussy. So he didn't really want to eat pussy like that. He didn't really like tongue kissing like that. But this one it doesn't matter what was going on, he would always do that. And then Antonio, I was like a baby with him emotionally. He triggered the fuck out of me. Let's go ahead and I'm going to keep it real. He triggered me more than all of these other men combined. He brought out that little girl in me that was looking for daddy, and woo! And I go into the raw emotional detail of the turmoil of that in the book. It was not all shits and giggles. I was triggered by all of them in different ways, but the one who triggered me to my core was Antonio, that crazy ass Cancer male stripper. Crazy ass. Oh my God.
What's your sign, Cidney?
Pisces.
Okay, yeah, I could see how you'd be triggered by a Cancer.
Oh my God.
So we're just like all the balancing everybody out. But it's interesting what you were saying. And I think that some people believe that monogamy equals emotional security. And I think that even in traditional relationships, there's a lot of people out there that don't have that emotional safety or security and get triggered.
Everybody, all of your intimate relationships are going to trigger you. Triggers are not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Triggers let you know where you are. Honestly, you know where you are, because I know you have things, Jennifer, that don't trigger you now that used to send you over the edge maybe 5-6 years ago.
1,000,000%.
That no longer do now. So you know where you are. I mean, triggers are just little landmines in there that we need to kind of do away with. And you don't know they're there until you know that they're there. So I don't think any relationship style saves you from being triggered. I was triggered through all of this, and even when I was monogamous, I was sitting there triggered and didn't know. So we got to stop acting like that's not what happens. People think that. So the emotion of security truly only comes from within. I know people hate it, but that's just the truth. The emotion of security can only be attained and maintained by ourselves. We can have support, right? We can, but the work is still all on us. Unfortunately, it's not really much we can do. So I sought out reassurance from my partners when I needed it, but ultimately I had to still do it. I think monogamy feels safer for a lot of people, but have we looked at the infidelity rates? You know what I'm saying? Is it really safer? It's never going to be safe if we're operating as humans that in a way that's unnatural to humans. There's not a shred of scientific or biological evidence that monogamy is just natural. It's not a monogamous gene that we have. We are all socialized by the patriarchy to be monogamous. Just do some simple research on the origin of monogamy. The origin of a thing really does help us to put a lot of things into perspective if we understand why a thing came about. But as long as we are still believing that monogamy is natural for humans, we are always going to be fucked up. Now, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with being sexually exclusive, because that's completely different. It was times where I was sexually exclusive, even in because you said it's like a whole bunch of shit that was going on in these relationships. So it was times where I was only having sex with August. I wasn't having other ones. They were out of town. Let's just start with that. Like, they were long distance relationships. So it was times where I was really only fucking one man, but I still didn't identify as monogamous. So organic, let's just talk about it. I think organic monogamy is a beautiful thing. So let's say me and you were dating. Nobody has caught your attention. Nobody has caught my attention for 2 years. We've met people and there's nothing really going on. That's beautiful. That's fine. It's organic. It's not because I put a rule down, you put a rule down. It's like, look, we've been in the world, we've been out, but nobody's really caught our attention. And you're just maybe just in the honeymoon phase. But if and when that oxytocin chemical dwindles a bit, I don't think it needs to be the end of the relationship. And that's what I always tell anybody. I said, I don't have a problem with being exclusive as long as it's organic. So let me just break down organic a little more. I shouldn't have to, if I meet someone who feels interesting at the gym and I really feel a pulling, Because have you ever just met someone you feel drawn to them?
Yes.
Even platonically, even it could be a girlfriend that you met.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, it's something about your spirit. I feel this is a good thing that I met you. I just feel like I've known you forever. You can't control that. Like you can't call that. Anyone listeners, y'all can put in the comments, whatever. Have you ever had that experience? Whether you're in a relationship or not, it doesn't matter. You can have that experience. So I feel like it's something good that's going to come from that experience with this person. I feel like it's inauthentic and inorganic for me to say, no, I'm not going to get to know you because I have a partner. What I would do in this situation, let's say I have a partner, we're in our exclusive phase, I would get the person's phone number and say, hey, babe, I met this dude. I really felt energetically drawn to them. I'm figuring it out. We just met at Starbucks, but I really would like, he gave me something I would like to call him or whatever, but let's check in with our relationship. Where are we? How are you feeling? Are you feeling secure? What reassurance? How do you feel about it? And we have a deep in-depth conversation. And whenever we get to the conclusion, then I'll act on it. Right. So I'm a very respectful person. It's not like fuck with my partner. Thanks. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how I got on this tangent, but I just did.
No, you're perfect. I love everything that you're saying. And as I'm listening to you, Cidney, I'm reflecting on my own journey of old triggers and new revelations, really. And my journey is one where I was monogamous my whole life, and I thought that was the right, good way. But I was still jealous when I was in monogamous relationships. And now I'm with a partner where we're more open to explore connections, just like you described. And at first, it was so foreign to what I knew, what I experienced. But with communication, conversation, reassurance, creating agreements on what feels good, I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from this experience so far is the communication is so much healthier than it was when I was in monogamous relationships. And perhaps it could be partner specific, right? But I really admire the openness that I'm seeing in the polyamory community.
The hardest part, I think, before anyone even tries to incorporate other people into their relationship, I think they should practice authentic communication. Monogamous culture is not a space for authentic communication. It's just,
Exactly.
it's not. You can't. It's too many rules. Like, if me and you were together, I can't come to you and say, I'm sad today because my ex-boyfriend or my ex-girlfriend got married and I feel a way about it. I do. I feel a way about it. That is going to be an explosion in the monogamous cultural relationship. I can't come to you and say that. I'm going to have to come to my friend, write in my journal, maybe talk to my therapist. But I can't come to you and say a lot of things that I may be thinking or feeling. Even if I'm not saying I want to go and fuck my ex, the reason why I'm in a bad mood and I'm sad is because my ex-boyfriend is married.
Yeah.
And like, that's why. Yeah, he treated me bad. Whatever the history was, I'm feeling myself feel sad about it. I don't know. I feel away. Well, why do you feel away? You want him? You're cheating. You're just gonna be with him. Go be. Okay, just never mind. I'm not gonna share it with you. So that's like a mini example of how it's very hard. I think monogamous culture within itself encompasses lies and deceit because you cannot
Yes.
show up authentically. It's a part. Cheating and lying is a part of monogamous culture. It's in it. It just is because you can't be truthful, even if you have no desire or intention on acting on anything. It's just so many things I cannot say to my part. I can't.
Yeah. That part. Yeah. The authenticity is really important. And I think it can be challenging for monogamous people because they're afraid of losing something.
Yes, and I was definitely afraid of. Girl, when you get into this book, I was definitely afraid of losing the stripper. Or that whole journey with him, I was terrified. I was scared. Like, it's all of the feelings are valid involved in all of it. Authenticity is very hard at times. Honesty is hard. Transparency is difficult. It's easy to tell a motherfucker what they want to hear and keep the peace. It's easy.
Yes. Yeah, it is, of course. But how do we grow, right? Like we need to stretch ourselves a little. I'm thinking about my first inclination that I might be open to more of an ethically non-monogamous relationship was when I reflected back and realized that in all of my monogamous relationships, as soon as we made things official, I almost felt a little sad. And that sadness was from oh gosh, if I'm out at a bar or a museum or anywhere and somebody's cute and they're flirting with me, I can't flirt back with them. I would feel too guilty. And so I do appreciate that more fluidness of it. And I'm curious for you, Cidney, have you always been of a polyamorous mindset, or is it something that you discovered over time?
Girl, hell no. Hell no. Girl, I was a rigidly judgmental, slut shaming, hating ass bitch.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I would hate you, women like you. I would hate women like me, the sexually free women. I would hate all of y'all. Like, because I was lost in the sauce. And I talk about that in depth in the book. I talk about my journey, my ego deaths, and my journey of this. I had this self-righteousness about me not ever getting no dick and shit. Like, I just really thought I was better than you because I wasn't getting no sex. I thought I was better than you. I hated women who got relationships with men and attention from men who were dressing revealing, who were talking about sex. Anything that went against what the patriarchy told me I needed to be, which was
Yeah.
anything that went against that and was getting the results I wasn't getting, I resented deeply. So I was rigidly monogamous. Oh my God. I was very rigid, the complete opposite of what I am now. So yeah, no, I was definitely not always about this. So I do empathize with women who I call it lost in the sauce. And the sauce is patriarchy, religion, and motherfucking societal norms. And misogyny. There's a lot of misogynist ass women out there. Like, I empathize with that mindset. But I was also 20 something and kind of acting like a 20 something year old person. You kind of lost in the sauce until you find your way out that shit.
Where was the shift then for you? How'd you go from that to where you are now?
I got a hold of Buddhism at a
Oh,
very young age. I talk about that. Chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, which is the same thing that Tina Turner did. I got a hold of that and I started understanding that I didn't need to. At 19, I started realizing it was a problem with how dependent I was on male approval, male attention. I was just too dependent on it. It's like if I didn't get male attention from some dude that I didn't even know if I wanted, I was sad. Like, if you're a man, I got your number today. You didn't text me within 12 hours. What's wrong with me? Did I do something right? I was doing that male-centered shit. Like, it was really sad. And so Buddhism, and then I ended up joining this group on Facebook called Progressive Open Lovers by Rakim and Kenya Saku. I started learning, oh, wait, there's another way to relate outside of rigid monogamy. And I talk about this in the book. So I rolled into my first non-monogamous relationship and started understanding poly so I had this guy I was dealing with. I talk about this in detail. There's a guy I was dealing with. He ate the best pussy. He was just great. And we were cool. We had a good bond. We were great friends and we had good sex and all that stuff. And then I met Cash. And I remember thinking, okay, so I have a man in my life who hasn't done anything wrong to me. But because I've met this other man, now I need to cut him off. A monogamous culture says when you meet one good thing, you need to cut all the other good things off. Good things meaning people. So monogamous culture says, because Cash is here, I need to disconnect, cut ties with anyone who has made me feel good before. I said, that don't make no sense. He ain't done nothing to me though. It just feels weird to call and say, hey, I'm calling to tell you you've done nothing wrong, but don't call me no more. Why? Because I got another good thing. It's like, this is stupid. Like, why am I doing that? So that's how I kind of ended up kind of falling into it in practical time. Because I couldn't find the rationale to dismiss a good person. That's just like, we just make it different because it's relationships. But if me and you are best friends and you meet another wonderful best friend, should you choose between the two best friends? They both are good to you. Now, if the best friend is hurting you and doing all kind of, cut her off. But if she's done nothing but be great to you, why would you tell her never to call you again?
One of my really good friends has been ethically non-monogamous for years, and we were talking about it, and he used that example. And then he also used the example of people who have children. So if you have two kids, you don't just not love one of them because there's a second one there. And we have so much love and care to give to others that Why just end something when there's no reason to, right?
And that's why your sadness came in. We need to talk a little bit more about that. I want to go back to what you said about you're like, oh, I won't be able to flirt with dudes anymore without feeling guilty. So many things gonna have to like give up in order to have this great thing. And this is a great thing. I'm not trying to say anything bad about this great person that's in my life, but I have to end so many other things. And it's for most people to hear that and say, oh, fuck that, girl. That's just a sacrifice you make. Like a lot of people, if you were to say that, you will probably get a lot of like judgment and scrutiny about you even saying I'd be sad about not being able to flirt. They would want to know why is flirting with anyone outside of your partner important to you. That's what they would ask you. Why?
Yeah, I remember telling a couple of my, not like close girlfriends, more like acquaintance girlfriends when we were out drinking one night, I had made that comment and they just couldn't understand it. They're like, Why? Like, there's this drive, I think, for women. You have to find your partner and like you're incomplete until you find this one person. And so, my gosh, if you have somebody, why would you even dream about wanting to flirt with anybody else?
It's so much to unpack within you saying that. And people may think that's not a big thing you just said. It's a huge thing that you said, that you felt the sadness of that. You know what I'm saying? And it reminds me, I don't know if you saw the story, Aisha Curry, which is Steph Curry's wife, the basketball player's wife. She got attacked and just drug online because she said that she walks into a room and nobody pays attention to her. She doesn't get other male attention. She says she already doesn't get very much male attention from her husband because he's busy all the time. But even if he wasn't, it's something about going into a room and men think she's beautiful to pay attention to her that she was missing that. And nobody could understand. They were like, oh, she is a slut. It's like, but what I pointed out about that, I said, but men will say they love it when they walk into a room with the beautiful woman and everybody's looking. So if a man says that you understand, but if she wants the attention for herself, you don't understand it.
Now, I want to shift gears for a second and ask you about these erotic sleepovers. So, can you tell our listeners what actually happens at an erotic sleepover?
They've evolved over the years. The first one was just a one night, overnight sleepover where sex was welcome and all of that stuff, all inclusive event in the mansion. But we've evolved over the years. Now the last one was in 2019. We're planning 2027 now. COVID shut it down, and I just haven't brought it back. I haven't been thinking about it that much. But what happens is we combine sexuality, luxury, and spirituality. So luxury event, very clean. I go extra mile to make sure everything is clean. As far as, we have a 24-hour cleaning staff. I just don't play about cleanliness of the event. It's a nudist event, a clothing optional event. We've had celebrities there. Everyone signs a non-disclosure agreement. We take phones, except with the one that was just on TV on Amazon Prime. Now, we didn't allow phones there too, but obviously it was cameras.
Sure.
But it is but I think we do a good job of combining the sexuality with the spirituality because that's very important. It is no difference between an orgasm and the Holy Ghost. You know what I'm saying? That feeling that you get when you're orgasming or when you're experiencing pleasure in that high vibration. You can manifest so many things from that. Like it's like a beautiful out of body experience. And so we combine the two. So we always have a combination of erotic entertainment, sometimes sexual erotic experience. So whether it be erotic hypnosis or teaching how to manifest with sexuality, with orgasm, and then it gets buck wild after that. So we combine all of it and we do it in a very interesting way. And I didn't really understand why this event was such a big deal, but now I get it. I'm a Black woman running this kind of space. That doesn't happen. Normally it's men. Men are putting together these swingers parties. So
yeah. You're a trailblazer, Cidney. I've actually done erotic hypnosis. I went on a lifestyle cruise last year and they offered classes, and one of the classes was erotic hypnosis. So my partner and I both had blindfolds on and basically were just touching non-genital parts. And then there was an invitation to touch genital parts and then eventually to have sex. And it was like amazing. My whole body was tingling, and it's one of the most embodied sexual experiences that I've had because there were no distractions whatsoever. And it's probably the clearest my mind has ever been. So I love
I
that you
love
offer that too.
Yes, we have got to combine it both. Now, I don't know about, I mean, you're not Black, I don't think, unless you are very interestingly mixed. But in the Black community,
Chocolate girlfriend.
yes, you can tell me whether this is true or not in your culture, but in the Black culture, there's so much, I feel, in my opinion, that Black people are the most sexually repressed out of everybody, in my view. So we have a lot of sexual healing to do. And that's what I really want to do. I just trick you and make you think it's going to be all about sucking and fucking. But, oh no, you actually going to get in here, get your trauma together. And another thing that I offer is I have Kenya and Rakim there. They are very huge in the poly community and they actually coach couples and work through trauma. I have trauma people there in my erotic sleepovers to help you because a lot of things can come up in these events. You could be really triggered with what your partner is doing. Maybe seeing certain things could bring up some trauma, that sexual trauma you had in your life. We understand that shit can come up, for you. So we want support there. We don't, so it's a very loving and nurturing and freeing event. And I can't wait for 2027. It's going to be the biggest one yet.
I love what I'm hearing. It's a curated event. It's upscale. It's focused on cleanliness, but also that extra part of having trauma informed people there to support
Yes.
because I can see where someone might be curious and then something comes up where it does trigger them, really. I
Yes.
love that people are there and you can really provide an experience for them that's focused on the person and not just a bunch of fucking, essentially.
Yeah, I don't run my events that way. No sex even really goes down like that until midnight. Now, when I say no sex, if you're in VIP, you have your room, you can fuck all you want. But the sex, it's foreplay. There's so much foreplay involved in my events. You come up, we've sent a luxury car to pick you up from the airport if you're out of town, if you're VIP, you're greeted. I don't want to give my blueprint out, but it is a true VIP experience. Like somebody's meeting you at the door, somebody's taking you back to the room. It is the Four Seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like we treat you like that when you come in there, and it's chefs, alcohol is included. It's personal chefs. I do not allow hard drugs in my event. That is another thing that I think I'm different. And honestly, I'm very selfish in my events. My events are about me and what I want to. I don't do drugs. So you ain't doing drugs. That's just how I feel about it. And I think it's counterproductive. It really is holistic. I really do care about really facing sexual trauma. So if you need to do a line of coke in order to suck the dick, I just don't want you sucking the dick. This is not the party for you. It's not going to be no Molly. But I really don't even want alcohol there. But I just haven't reached belief that I can get people to want to do this without alcohol. I really, if it was up to me, it would be, and it is up to me because it's my event. But if I felt it would fly, I would not even include alcohol in it. I give you that, but it is a limit on drunkenness. If you're overly drunk, we do not allow you. We got a system in place where we remove you from activities. You're not going to be sloppy drunk, looking unconscious, taking dick. Like, no, we really, really put a lot in place to be sure that people are safe. But if it was up to me, it would be no mind altering substances at all. Maybe some shrooms, maybe, but
yeah, shrooms would be fun with that. Yeah.
But definitely, I don't want marijuana. I'm nothing against marijuana, but I don't want marijuana, even though alcohol is harder on your body than weed is. But I just still don't want. It's legality stuff too of marijuana. It's more of a legal thing. I don't think when I did the event it was legal in Georgia, so I'm not gonna have no. Because I had a lot of scrutiny and media attention on my event, so I feel like I had to be very by the book with everything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You don't want stuff getting out there about drunk people on cocaine. Absolutely. Weed is legal in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, where I live. But the alcohol point, it's tough, Cidney. I've been to events where, like sexy spaces, where there's been alcohol and then others where there hasn't. And I got to say, I personally need a little bit of social lubricant, but perhaps a drink limit for people because, drunk people, you're not going to have an orgasm or be able to get it up or really feel the pleasure if you're so numb in your body from alcohol and drugs. And especially with creating a holistic space like what you're doing. Better to be in your body. Mm-hmm.
I would prefer that. But, for now, we got to keep the alcohol in place. But, I don't want you to feel like you need to be high out your fucking mind in order to have sex. Because that's my inner psychology comes in like, why you gotta be like sloppy drunk?
Yeah. What's going on here? What's
What are you trying to numb, right? So I'm curious, what people that come to your events, Cidney, what do they tend to walk away with?
Oh, it's so rewarding, and that's why I have to do it again. People say to change their lives to see 50-year-old Black women who've never been naked in front of people before be naked, and they're just like, "Oh, look at her naked." It's so cute. It's the cutest thing ever. It's so cute. I'm like, you are naked and you look beautiful.
Mhm.
You know, it changes long lasting connections. It changes so much. People's lives have changed. People need a safe space to be sexually free. I love the primal energy. I don't identify as a swinger, but I love swinger energy. I love primal hedonistic energy. I love just like crazy sex everywhere. I love it. Maybe because I love
Yes.
porn. I just love the
Yeah.
energy of it. The energy. And I especially love the energy of my women. I love when my women are just getting as many dicks as they can, or whatever they want, whatever fantasy they have. I just want it fulfilled. And I want them to come back and tell me they did this thing that they never thought they would do. So that's very great.
I love this. Yeah. As somebody who is newer to sexy spaces in the last couple of years, I have found that being able to be naked, not in public, in the spaces, has been such a confidence booster for me. And I've been plus size for like 30 years and never felt like my body was worthy until I started getting naked around other people. And man, I love it. It's almost addictive now. Like
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
like, let's
Yes. You are new as it is. It's fun. And you know what I love to do? This is a little bit my ego here. I love because I run everything. I walk around butt ass naked, bossing people around. No, right there. No, do that. No. Great. Do that. You fine. Da, da, da. And I subconsciously or maybe consciously, I'm screaming. A woman can be fucking butt ass naked and be smart and intelligent enough to run a successful, infamous ass fucking event, and everybody in this bitch gonna respect me, even though my titty and pussies is out. Now what? Because y'all don't like to say that just because a woman is naked, she's dumb, she can't do anything, she's one dimensional, she's not smart, we don't listen to her, we don't respect her. Fuck y'all, we're taking it back to ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, them women were naked as fuck, running shit. I'm the pharaoh in this motherfucking shit, and I'm gonna be butt ass naked, and everybody, men and women, gonna do what I say. Because and y'all gonna respect me because I'm running it, because I'm smart and intelligent and bossy enough to do it. So I love to do that. I don't have to be in a fucking suit to be respectable and smart. I don't have to be in no Jehovah's Witness gown, dressed like a fucking nun. Okay, in order to be smart, intelligent, and to change people's lives. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just loving this image of a naked goddess ordering people around and not it just like get
I mean, I'm not mean. I am the boss, and I'm naked.
yeah, for sure. So Cidney, where can our listeners find you?
Instagram is fine. I mean, the one I'm most active on right now would be YouTube and Instagram, but all three in me, my site, all3andme.com literally has everywhere we can find me. But Instagram is fine. CIDNEY_green. You can find me there.
Okay, wonderful. And I'll have all of Cidney's information in the show notes as well for the listeners, so you can go check that out. The last question I want to ask you today, Cidney, is what's one thing that your younger self would not believe about your life right now?
That girl that I'm monogamous, that I'd be naked, everything I just said. I told you I was a rigid bitch. Rigid.
Yeah, I think my younger self would be shocked by my life right now too, but I think she'd be happy though. So
yeah, she's definitely proud and happy because I've always been this person, but you got to find your way out of the bullshit, which takes time and courage. Give yourself grace. I would say anybody out there, I would just want to leave y'all with this: question everything. Even if things you just feel like you just know so what, question everything. Okay, and the best way to know if whatever you're doing or a social norm is really a fit for you, ask yourself if society praised this thing that you want to do, if you would want to do it. If your answer is yes, then that's what you really want to do. So if society praised having more than one boyfriend and it was no backlash and every man on earth approved of it and thought it was cool, would you want to do it? I don't know. If you say yes, that's your answer. So start working from there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Cidney,
It's a
thank you so much for this fun and funny and fascinating conversation. My face hurts from smiling and laughing so much. You're awesome. Yeah, I really love conversations that challenge people to think deeper and explore these beliefs that we were raised in, but we never agreed to, right? We're just like, you're just monogamous. That's just how you are. Like,
yeah.
mhm.
I do agree with that, and this is a great conversation, and I'm happy that you know offer the platform to me and everyone. You can go to Amazon or whatever you buy books and get All Three and Me, and so I can't wait for y'all to read it.
And thanks to all of you for listening to another episode of Sip with Summers. If this episode made you laugh, think, or question everything, share it with a friend and make sure you subscribe. Until next time, stay curious and keep sipping on the conversations that most people are too afraid to have.